My mic muted? I hope not. No karma. Nah, I'm just not saying anything. We're just getting right into it. Long as playing early. Oh yeah, also let me know if all the sound stuff is good. You can hear the game and me and the music in the background. If anything's too quiet. Wow. That was such a good start that I'm just gonna keep going. Man, I really need to find a better way to set that up. There's like a chain of rolls that you can do in this room. Works out really well if you set it up correctly, but the setup is actually difficult for some reason. My strategy for this run has pretty much always just been to throw attempts at it. That's like maybe too luck based, and there's just some point where you need to just do a bunch of attempts until you get the perfect run. But maybe it is worth going into some rooms specifically to figure out some strategy for it. Which you kind of do like slowly over time. You'll kind of get used to what is good and bad movement. But sometimes you'll, like one day you'll find some movement that works out really well. But then the next day you won't be able to do it at all for some reason. So in previous attempts of Artificer, I had done that roll chain in that earlier room quite consistently. But then today and yesterday, I was not as good at it for some reason. Oh, this is a short cycle. I might not be able to make it. We'll see what happens in this next region. Also, the game is lagging again. I think there might be something that I have to do to fix that. Excuse me. That's very rude of you. I haven't done anything. Actually, I haven't even killed the scavenger. I mean, ignoring what happened before the first cutscene. But this guy was basically just dead already, and I just picked him up. I mean, there's a very high chance that I end up killing scavengers later in the run. That's just because they get in the way. If they really didn't want to get killed by Artificer, then they would just stay out of the run completely. Seems like the obvious solution. Whoops. I might reset this run. Depending on what the timer looks like. Not enough time. I probably could have made it to the wall, but then I would get pushed down by rain, which just slows you down way too much. Beat Saint again a minute ago. Only the first half of Rubicon is difficult. I sort of agree with that. There's rooms with the rooms there have a lot less space. There's more Mirror's Vultures. Especially if you go to the right side of Rubicon, it's not as bad. There's like a bunch of rooms with just like snails and cicadas, and a few creatures that really don't get in your way at all. As long as you take the right route. If you like go through a few wrong rooms, you'll have to deal with like rot and some other stuff. Now, I got incredibly lucky with the Vulture last run, so don't expect that to be replicated ever again. I often end up grabbing and doing the double jump at the same time, and I end up actually grabbing the wrong part of their body. Ideally, I would grab their head at the same time, but that just never happens. 37% UFO consistent. Yeah, that has a really weird jump. I mean, if that's the one that I think you're talking about, it has a weird jump where there's like a block that you want to land on, but if you jump over the block, then you like die to the spikes past it. And UFO is kind of awkward. It's hard to line up something specific like that because it also depends on your previous jumps, not just the one right before it. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Wow. Rain game was crazy today. Wow, twice in a row. Just my luck. Went to industrial. New survivor save. Screen's like an all the piper offset. I was stuck in the floor. What? whack. If you're in the floor, you can like crawl your way out. But getting a slug pup to do that, I don't know how you would convince them. Or if they're even capable of doing that. So even after that, it was still bugged. Don't be a problem. Got the mask actually, but the Drain Lizard took the scout. Did I say Train Lizard? No. What did I say? Oh, the Green Lizard? Oh, I reset too early. It finally happened. Speaking of slug pups, here's the slug pup song. This is the song that played in one of the really old trailers for Rain World when they were showcasing slug pups. Because they were actually in the game in a super early version, but then they got removed before release and only added back in Downpour. But actually that's a completely different thing. Like the slug pups that are in the game now are not the same slug pups that used to be in the game. King Vulture? Really? I hit him right in the head with a spear and it didn't do anything. Yeah, that's annoying. That's why you should turn off screen shake. Actually, every single game that I play, I always go into the settings and turn off screen shake. Screen shake, motion blur, stuff like that. Any like flashing, if there's an option to reduce like flashing and stuff, turn that off too. I'd like to be able to see what's happening. Light blue stained glass. Saw their karma. See how well they blend in with the ground here? vultures are in that room instead. Well, there's a dead vulture down there. That is certainly a collection of words. But if like part of a game's visual style are those kind of intense effects, then I just kind of am not interested in the game. Like Ultra Kill. I know the game is probably really good, but it's so intense and like I don't know, I just can't like watch the game without my eyes exploding. So I can't imagine playing it either. Actually having to focus on stuff. Ultra Kill is tame. Yeah, alright. Kind of getting better at the head spears somehow. Yeah, like I'm actually able to like sort of aim them a little bit. No, you don't. Like that might be the meta actually, which kind of sucks because it's really hard and a huge barrier to entry. Okay, that works better. I messed up the jump afterwards, but you have to jump from higher up to get the roll. That's like one thing I wanted to test. Okay, don't do that. So quiet. I get it. So it's like risk reward, you know, in order to be offensive you need to sacrifice your vision. So it's like part of the game. It's like, well, I don't even like it in shooters when there's like a little bit of screen shake when you're shooting, which is like every game ever. 'Cause, I mean, it just makes sense. Or like recoil. That kind of sounds stupid. I don't really play shooters. Yeah, more vultures, please. I think that if a vulture is looking right at you, there's pretty much no chance of getting the mask unless you hit super high up. But if they're like looking down or looking slightly away from you, then it's pretty easy. I think that's how it works. Just have this rock now. I don't know how I'm not dead. Oh, she had an extra spear. Or maybe he stole my spear and threw it immediately. Should he go for the head that it's attached to? That sounds kind of ridiculous because they're pretty much exactly the same thing. The mask, or their head has a mask on, right? I don't see it as separate entities. You know, maybe if you're like super precise with your spear throw, that distinction would matter. You know, there's a chance I could just keep going and wait for a scavenger to show up in the vulture room. Oh, I didn't do it correctly. Past echo says a lot about society. What does that even mean? What does it say? Yeah, that's what the echo says, not the song. The song was not even associated with the echo for quite a long time. As in, the echo literally did not exist, but the song did. I think, oh, they're right here. Why do you run away? Am I that scared? I don't even have a mask. I didn't want to pick them up. That was like right there. Okay, I guess I'll take that. Still a little bit slow. There we go, finally got that again. Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. An Artificer, everyone's favorite character to speedrun. Excuse me. God, there's so many leashes down there, but I've never been grabbed by one. There's no penalty for just jumping down into the leech pit. Sound more depressed than usual. Wait, do I sound a little bit depressed normally? Well, I am speedrunning Artificer, so I think that's part of the explanation. This guy's gonna try to snipe me. Or not. There's not much to talk about, I guess. Whoa. Like I'm doing a speedrun that is pretty much like it's just like throwing attempts at the wall. You know, eventually I'll get a run that might make it to the end. Who knows? Ah, nice shot. I kind of think of this speedrun like, imagine you have a big pile of like plates, and so you try to keep throwing the plates at the floor until one of them doesn't break. That's what it's like to speedrun Artificer. That's what it's like for me to speedrun Artificer with my specific strategy. If you want to be a bit slower, you can have a much higher chance of actually completing the run. Maybe someday the plate won't break. But when you throw a plate against the floor, do you really expect it to be fine? One must imagine the Rain World speedrunner happy. It's also like that. Hate when they get stuck in this corner. Get back here. I picked up the scavenger. That's too slow. I think that red lizard over there is actually what demasks the vultures occasionally. Actually, well, I don't even know if it happens anymore. Because when I in previous speedrun attempts, I would often see vulture masks on the floor in the next room. So I would spend a bunch of time fighting a vulture to get the mask. I'd go to the next room and there'd be like 2 masks on the floor. So I guess that was the red lizard, or maybe a king vulture somehow like hitting a mask, although that'd be incredibly rare. But now every time I check that room, I don't see a mask on the floor. I guess I'm checking it way too early. If I were to wait like 20 seconds, as if I did fight a vulture, then maybe a mask would be more likely to show up. Maybe I shouldn't push them over here. Oh, I don't like you. No vulture yet? Just messing around. That was too slow anyway. This is a trampoline. That kind of reminds me of an old speedrunning strat for Pebble Percent, where you would bring a Squidcada up the wall and then use them as a trampoline to get up into the top of the wall. Or I don't know if that was an actual strategy or just something one person did. Because surely it wouldn't take that long to discover the wall pinning strategy or the spear pinning strategy. Yeah, and since the echo was, because the echo was like right next to that room, so the Squidcada gets disabled. You can't even use them to fly. You have to bounce off of them. If you want to use that strat. It's like, it's way too slow now. You have to go all the way to the other side of outskirts to get a sweet Kata, and then drag it all the way over to the wall, which might actually speed up some parts, but overall it's probably slower, especially with better movement techniques. I always grab like their actual body and not just their head. And also it's just annoying when they're on the right side of me. Lizard is gone. Tragedy. Oh, oh. I thought I threw them all the way across the room, but that was just a different scavenger. Uh-oh. Check, guys. Okay, just kidding. Of course, I'm the one that the red lizard goes after. Not the two scavengers right in front of his face. Must have a lot of plates. There's infinite plates. There's so many. Nice. So if you move fast enough, you can see for a split second how much karma the scavenger has, so you don't need to stop to wait. You don't need to stop to check how much karma they have. You can just go. If they have enough. Otherwise you can just throw them away and then find another one. Another king vulture. Whoa! Fastest vulture ever. That was like a Mirror's vulture move. This process right now is exactly why some people considered skipping the vulture mask. Don't bother with it. Just bring the scavenger. It lets you carry spears and rocks and stuff. I don't know why I say that. There's pretty much only spears and rocks. So you can do throw boots, you can defend yourself a little bit. But then every single lizard wants to eat you for breakfast and for lunch. And if you want to use parries to get rid of the lizards, then you're sacrificing double jumps, so you're losing some mobility. Most peaceful this room has ever been. You're like constantly having to like use parries or like focus on the creatures instead of just moving forward, which you can always do with the vulture mask. I really like that strategy that I did for this vulture. Oh, look, expedition complete. Which was to let it try to go past me and then hit the spear from like behind, sort of. But the problem is that is dependent on the vulture's position. So if they are directly above you or if they are too far to the right, you just can't do that. And they also have to be low enough for you to actually jump up and hit them with the spear. But if it does work out, it's pretty good. For some reason, a pinned message from a different stream is here. YouTube is not very great at that kind of stuff. Sometimes you can get a glitch where comments from different videos show up on the wrong video, or videos in your recommended can have the wrong title or the wrong thumbnail. So no surprise that it has also brought a pinned message over. Maybe our Artificer speedrunning is like dropping a whole plate of, or a whole stack of plates at once. But if one of them breaks, then you lose and you have to try again. Like the vulture plate didn't break, so now it's about the lizard plate. Ooh, we're the scavenger plate. What am I saying? Oh great, there's even more of them. I usually don't like to double jump there. Now I have very few jumps left. Well, I guess I don't really use them in this part. Did you miss anything? No. You never miss anything when it comes to these runs. Until the final run. You don't want to miss that one. Please. Why not parry? They were trying to leave the room. Probably gonna get mad at me right about now. Or I guess get hungry at me is a more accurate description. Just did not want to grab onto that one. This is very fast. Ooh, but the cycle's actually a little bit shorter. Check again here. This is close, but I think it's possible. I think this is possible. No clue what you're saying? I don't either, honestly. Buy better plates. Yeah, the ones that say like break resistant or something. Oops. That's a really precise jump, actually. They said that's what it felt like. This song is called Wandering Cut. Excuse me. It is. I was right. I don't like when they go in the same direction as me because they will aggro. Ooh. Well, there's actually a guy up there. And another guy. Okay. A little bit sketchy. Yeah, that's just cheating. The ones that don't break. No matter how hard you throw them in the floor. Excuse me. Okay, this is a serious problem. That's fine. Any problem with speed runs you have to eat? No, because you can just eat popcorn plants. There's enough popcorn plants in the whole run. You just like throw a spear at one and you're good. And you can also, you don't really need to take that many shelters. So food, you don't use up too much food either. And when you go to moon, she refills your food too. The main problem is the very beginning of the run. Because you need to get enough food to shelter, so you probably need to go fight like a dropbug or something in outskirts. So it can be a little bit of RNG. It's not really a problem. Imagine if I was speedrunning Spearmaster instead. Actually, might be easier than this run. Really would like that one to have enough karma. I think a good like half of Spearmaster's run is inside of iterators where it's not very dangerous. And the rest of it is like grapple worm movement, which you can like really optimize if you know the environment really well. The rest of it is unfortunately dealing with lizards and stuff, as Spearmaster with limited options. It's a consistent popcorn plant spawn very close to the start. I'm not totally updated on the Spearmaster meta. Yeah, ask all the questions you want about speedrunning. It's probably gonna make the stream more interesting. More interesting than just this over and over again. The real cycle. Like your mask, please. Oh, and they're so close to getting grabbed, but then they don't. They like turn around at the last moment. And around 4 hours. I feel like sometimes people think that they can't speedrun. It's like, oh, I don't know the route, I don't know the tech, I can't do a speedrun, but you totally can. Where the Renwell community is very open to like a wide range of speedruns. If you open up the game and you go to Pebbles and then you go to the end and it takes you like 2 hours, you can submit it as a speedrun. You'll probably be able to do that just fine. Let this survivor starting room. Okay, I think I know what popcorn plant you're talking about, but that seems like it'd be quite far away for a speedrun. Like that's quite a few rooms you have to go back to, and then you have to go there and then come back. Whereas you can probably find a few random creatures close to the shelter. I don't know. Pointless explosive spear. I got the mask anyway. You can actually buffer that jump. Kind of fall off for a little bit, and then you jump the moment you land, and you can get the roll consistently. What are you doing? random double jumps there. Or, I guess double jump. Experience are cool, not really think you enjoy combat. Then you should do score runs. Actually, I shouldn't say anything about score runs. Challenge runs through limits and... Yeah, that's cool too. I'm definitely kind of the opposite. I don't like combat as much. I like how speedrunning you can kind of get around that. Where it's about avoiding the creatures and moving to some destination instead of sticking around to fight stuff. Which is funny because I'm playing Artificer right now. The combat character. Well, I don't know if they're like... Because there's Hunter, right? There's also Speedmaster. But like... Artificer's entire goal is to kill stuff. The other ones need to kill stuff to get food, but... Oh, come on, don't go that way. That pink lizard totally messed me up. That sounds like a pain. Okay, wasn't that bad. Red lizard is right there. Okay, I have to do this jump normally. Or not, I'm just gonna wait. Used too many jumps earlier to get past the red lizard. I didn't have one for that jump where you actually need it. Well, it saves a lot more time than some of the other jumps. Plenty of time. Yeah, Rivulet, like a lot of people play Rivulet and they don't even kill a single creature, or maybe only a handful here and there. It's just kind of how the character is. And same with Saint, of course, but that one's a little bit more forced since you literally cannot kill stuff without a lot of extra effort. Egg bug. Unfortunately, it was hard for me to enjoy the Saint speedrun. What are you guys all doing here? Like, it's really fun movement-wise. It's probably one of the most fun runs, even compared to Rivulet. But it's it's also a bit of Artificer where there's creatures everywhere. And it's also just such a long run with a pretty difficult ending. Oh, no. Somehow I slipped off the pole twice. Nice. Okay, it's all falling apart. So it's going pretty good. This is actually one of my favorite songs in the whole game. I like most of the songs that play in the depths and around that area. What is it called? Deep Ghosts. It's confirmed. You are a ghost. You do get dissolved before making it to the light at the end. The ride. The ride is really good too. It's like, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting song, but it just works somehow. Oh, that sucked. And then this plays after it. Deep Light. There is one called Deep Light too. There's some small difference between the two. Oh shoot. Oh, alright. I don't know how that rock missed. That's why I sometimes go the other route. Just avoid any interaction with the dropway. All right then. The song name would make even more sense if it played in Subterranean. Just imagine. I don't want to tame the lizard. Front. Thank you. This is a very luck run. Or maybe I'm bad or something. It's a very chaotic run. There may be situations where you're able to escape, but how many of those situations happen is random. You have your dead friend. Okay, there weren't even any vultures, but I guess they probably would have just made it worse. it's not very appealing when you try to recommend a game to someone and say it's gonna suck at first, but you'll get good in like 10 hours. I kind of like to think of Rain World as the game that gets good after like 200 hours. I'm sure that a lot of people enjoyed it before 200 hours, but for me, it took roughly that long for me to like really enjoy it. And if you were to make a list of like all the games that I've played in order of how much I enjoyed it, Rain World kind of slowly climbed up that list over the course of like 5 years. And then now it's at the very top. But I especially enjoyed the moment-to-moment gameplay, you know, moving around, fighting stuff. You know, the actual gameplay I enjoy quite a lot. But I know there's people who like the game as kind of an experience, but they don't necessarily enjoy the gameplay. Maybe like they're fine with the gameplay, like it's a bit difficult to get used to, but then they're fine with it. But then like eventually, you know, like there's stuff that are kind of outside of that, like the visuals, the music, the kind of like story that you can learn about. I just kind of got into speedrunning and enjoyed it that way too. Especially since I didn't have a first time with this game. That was like blind. Okay. So I like knew about the game before I got it and played it myself. So I was like totally spoiled about like pretty much everything. So I kind of like, I didn't have that first time experience of discovering everything. But also it's debatable if I'm enjoying the game right now. This isn't the game's fault though. Oh, now they show up? They're indecisive. I was hoping, like, where's the mask on the floor in that room? Okay, they gave up. But also, Rain World has taught me something. That I should probably pay more attention to games that have big spoiler warnings. Because I'm the kind of person to like watch some random video on YouTube that talks about the game and it's like, this is a very special game, don't play it, or don't watch anything about it, go play the game with no spoilers. And I'm like, whatever. And the game ends up being Outer Wilds, so, you know. Same with the Rain World, although there wasn't... I'm sure I could find videos today that are like, go play Rain World, don't see any spoilers. But those kind of videos weren't very common back when I actually discovered the game. But now I'm kind of like on the lookout, like when's the next like special game that I am going to play completely blind. Funny song. Just hanging out. Wish that demasked them. That'd be real consistent. Oh, I didn't see how much karma they had. Sometimes I accidentally pick up one of the scavengers down there. And I'll just, like, immediately drop them, but maybe sometimes they have enough karma, and I just don't notice. If it's not fun, why bother? But also, that's, like, understandable. If you're not finding a game fun, like, you'd be forced to play it. Okay, I don't really know what to do in this scenario. I guess that was the right option. Just kidding, Red Lizard. Say that while doing Artie speedruns. This is like, I'm not even playing Rain World, honestly. I'm doing something else, some other abomination. I would kind of like to see some updates, some changes to the game that could make it more speedrun friendly. Because speedrunning is one of those things that can extend the life of a game quite a lot. You know, there's only so much Rain World to do. And once you're done, like, what next, you know? And if speedruns are really enjoyable, then people are going to keep playing the game. Like Celeste, for example. It's a really good game. Obviously. Once you beat it, it kind of wants to push you towards speedrunning. You know, Celeste has, you know, all that movement tech. You can discover all the little shortcuts that are, like, intentionally placed throughout the map. So that is like part of the game. It's not part of the game, but it's part of the game, you know. So people keep playing Celeste. It's quite popular to speedrun. And maybe Rain World could be similar, but also, like, any changes that make the speedrun better would have to have no effect on any other part of the game. Hello, welcome to the stream. And it could just be a bunch of tiny little quality of life changes. Like the gates from drainage system to gutter, that gate has a 5 karma requirements. And Rivet starts with 1 karma. So you need to spend the start of every run karma caching in order to go through that gate. If they just slightly increased a Rivet's starting karma, or they decrease the karma requirement of that gate, the speedrun would become a lot easier to run. Just because you would spend less time karma caching. Or even perhaps not karma cache at all. That'd be really good for the speedrun, but also not very consequential, because not many people are even going to that gate anyway, you know. It's a pretty obscure and hidden gate to find in the first place. It's like that, maybe that would be a change that's worth doing. Oh. If gates... Okay, so that's a big topic of discussion in the speedrunning community. Actually, it's, well, there's just not much discussion in general. But some people talk about this, the idea of just removing karma gate requirements. And I don't know how to feel like, because like for Artificer, for example, that'd totally change the run because you wouldn't need to carry a scav body around, right? But I guess maybe for Artificer you just wouldn't make that change because you don't need to karma cache anyway, right? With the way that scav karma works. But for like Survivor, for Rivulets, you know, it would make a big difference by just removing the karma caching. But karma gates also do something where if you are in a region, like partway through the run and you die, so your karma goes from level 5 to 4, then you might not be able to go through a gate, you know? So if you are in Underhang as Rivulet and you die once, your karma goes down to level 4 and you can't enter Pebbles because that's like level 5 requirements. So with karma requirements turned off, you can just die as many times as you want and never have to worry about your karma. In that case, that's karma working exactly as intended, right? If you die too much, you shouldn't be able to enter a region. That's what karma is trying to do. And so like because of that, maybe karma requirement should stay. So that's like simply designed as something to be that's like an important part of the game. And so it should not be changed when speedrunning. And also, you know, when it comes to speedruns that non-speedrunners watch. Oh, nice shot, me. People are gonna ask questions like, how did you enter this gate with level 1 karma, you know? And they think that maybe some sort of exploit is used, or, you know, it's not completely understandable that it's just, oh, they just change a setting, you know? And if you change it for one run, if you're like, oh, but specifically for Rivulet, story percent, it would make a big difference. So just that one category, we're gonna allow it. Then, you know, might as well just allow it for every category, you know? Why is Rivulet special? And we don't really know what the consequences would be for changing rules for every single category. It also means that every run is immediately invalidated. Like there'd be runs pre-karma requirements and like post-karma requirement. Well, I guess the reverse of that, but you know, you get the idea. So a bunch of people would probably want to go back and redo their runs to like improve the time because they didn't have the karma cache, or they don't have the karma cache for the rule change, you know. And also, a lot of people are probably just going to disagree with that idea. They're like, no, karma requirement should stay a thing. Yeah, it's complicated. And the problem is that you can't just make a separate category for it because there's already too many categories for Downpour. So like every category would have like so many fewer runs. Set the karma at the beginning of the run. That's an idea that I think would work better. So like start with 5 karma, but if you die then it still goes down and you still get the penalty for that. But then you'd probably need to use a separate mod to get that to work. And so basically someone would have to specifically go out of the way to make a mod that is allowed for speedruns. And it's also another barrier of entry for console players who want to speedrun. They wouldn't have access to that mod. This whole area has just been a huge mess, honestly. Excuse me. Oh, come on. But also, there's not many speedrunners in general. So if like 3 of them agree to the rule change, then it might happen. But I have heard that some people have not been interested in running Rivulet just because of the karma catching at the start of the run. Like, oh, it would be a fun category, but the karma catching seems annoying, so I'm not gonna do it. That kind of just makes me sad. That there could be, like, the fact that there could be some people who would speedrun if that rule was changed, like that might make it worth it alone. Just to have more runners in the community. Another idea that I had is if you have no karma requirements, then you must do the run deathless. But that is also like kind of specific. The song that's playing right now, Fragments. Yeah, karma caching makes runs a lot more time consuming. Every time you restart, you need to spend a few minutes at the start of the run just doing nothing. They're boring to watch, so every time I watch a speedrun, I just get past the karma caching. They're a pretty small barrier of entry. It's not that big of a problem. Some people are like, oh, I don't know how to karma cache, so I can't do the speedrun. And they might not know that it's pretty easy to do. But I'd say that the main problem that I've experienced is like doing Artificer, or not Artificer, Rivulet speedruns, where can you stop? That's a huge pain. But every time you die or make a mistake in Rivulet's speedrun, you spend 3 minutes doing nothing. That's your penalty. And dying in Drainage System at the very start of the run is quite common. So you spend 3 minutes karma caching, then you die to a scavenger, and then you spend another 3 minutes karma caching. And it becomes real boring, and it means you can do less attempts overall. I think this run has been slowed down too much by random stuff. I will keep going in case I get lucky. Yeah, so there's a point in a speedrun where you can decide to start doing runs deathless, where you consider that the time lost from a death is always too much. And if you're doing a run deathless, then karma doesn't matter, aside from just slowing you down at the start of the run. Okay, that's annoying. When you try to grab something and do a slide at the same time, you do that. Oh yeah, for Rivulet 2, if you started with max karma, you would not have to go down to the shelter at all. You would just go straight up into the gutter. So that just like cuts out a part of the run that you would do otherwise. I'm missing a lot of chat messages right now. I need to focus on the run. I think it's raining right now, or it's about to. It's good timing. But also with the deathless rule, then that means new players who aren't able to do runs deathless would like it'd be worse for them because they would need to karma catch and they might still die. But also, I'd like to think that things that are bad for new players are just incentives for them to get better. If you aren't able to do a run deathless, and you know that you would save a lot of time by not having to karma catch and also just by not dying, then you would want to get better at the game so that you could eventually get that deathless run with no karma catching. But also that might just serve to make it more difficult for people to get into it. Will there be scavengers? To wait for that guy to pass. Sometimes that happens. I don't know why. You do like a really weird jump into a wall. It's okay, I play and talk at the same time. Well, I read comments when I'm going through pipes or when I'm going through a tunnel. Or like right now. It's a good time. As for talking, if I know that I need to focus on something, I will stay quiet. Probably happen if this run keeps going. Ah, this song is too early. I waited like 3 minutes. You do need to take the shelter, because you go to Pebbles, then you exit out of the game. To return to the shelter, which is the closest to Metropolis. And even if you didn't take the shelter and you just went straight to Pebbles, you need to take a shelter again in order to go back to the gate. If you want to beat Artificer in one cycle, you have to go up the leg and enter, or I guess you could just go to underhang from the wall. But you would enter Pebbles from the bottom, and then, oh dear. Sorry, dude. You didn't even have any spears. So since you entered from a different gate, you would be able to exit through this gate. Enter the city. Actually, I don't even know if that's worth doing over a double jump. Yeah, this is a really good track. Really good introduction to a really cool region. Well, part of the region is cool, I think. Got to roll for a second there. Whoops. Menuing loss. Menuing time loss. Not a big deal. Oh, you're cool. Not. Could have recovered that? Yeah, I could have. But I would have lost like a minute, and I would have not been happy with that. I really hate when that happens. If you get a really good run, but there's a death in the middle. Like, yeah, maybe the death only lost like a minute, and you still got a good run in the end. But you know, imagine if you didn't die, and how much better the run would have been. I feel like I'd rather just do another run that doesn't have the death. Too much happened every time I ran Saint. Oh, this is a funny song. But I would die to some random thing that would only lose a small amount of time, but I would just hate that death in the run. That's why it took me so long to actually submit one of my Saint speedruns, because all of them had a stupid death in it. Did you want to... Hey, I got the mask. The geometry dash mindset? Wait, what does that mean? I think there were other problems with that run too, like the drop wig. That was annoying. That's the kind of thing that really bothers me. Like, oh, that was a perfect run, but that drop wig slowed me down, man. That sucked. I wish I needed to do another run to fix that problem. You know, getting perfect is not worth continuing. Well, in geometry dash, you just can't. You have to do it perfect. You know that when I was speedrunning Rivulet? Yeah, I remember those streams. I did finish one of those runs, and I did get world record by a significant amount, but I'm still annoyed. There's still mistakes in that run, and I want to return to that run, Riv story percent. Oh, that's like 3 vultures at once. Hell yeah. So I'm still not done with Rivulet, even though that was technically... That was a really good run, but it could have been better, so... I'm not happy with it. Red rat otter with attitude problems. Driving Artificer. Scavengers over here. That's cool. That guy like rolled to dodge my spear. Okay. The chaos worked out. They have a spear stuck in them. I don't know why these squid cicadas sometimes grab onto you for a second. It's really weird. Yeah, the name was just by some random person. But that doesn't mean that it's not an official name. Like most of the stuff, like most of the content wasn't even in those versions of the game. That guy sniped me. It would be really bad. I was surprised. Oh, he just entered this room too. That's cool. That's great news. Whoa. Actually, that's a very, very unique pink lizard. Oh, that was just awful in general. I find it funny that you say pacifist scavs. Like, just because I walked through a group of scavengers without dying, that means that they were pacifist. That's how it is as Artificer. That was just awful. I've never passed full climbed worse. That hit me, or the scavenger? I think that hit me. That's great. Okay, just like 2 random time losses, just because. Yeah, fast lizards are if they try. Like, imagine if that's how fast lizards move if they actually, when they were hunting you. And not just when they were running away from stuff. Yeah, give Artificer a break. They've been trying very hard. Also, hello. Welcome to the stream. I can't really... Oh, you suck. No, I didn't... Add that to the list of unnecessary time loss. At least they're not king vultures. And if the game wanted to be really funny, it would spawn in a king vulture right now. Don't have any double jumps right now. Maybe that's better. Like a horror game. A little preview of the monster from a shadow. And that's the weapon for dealing with them. Not gonna pick it up though. Excuse me. It's nice that I got past them, because then they don't clog up this tunnel. I think there's... I'm gonna assume there's scavengers up there. No, actually. I guess that Artificer was just making a lot of noise. Sorry, man. Actually, not sorry at all. Could have ended the run. That's unforgivable. I'll do that. That was terrifying. There's something kind of special about games that can stress you out like this. Like there's horror games that are like that try to make you all anxious and like scared and stuff. That's like the whole point, right? But you know that they're doing it on purpose, right? It kind of defeats the feeling of it. Like, oh, they want you to feel scared, and because look at all these sound effects that are like spooky and, you know, it's doing it on purpose. And this game, nothing is happening. There's just scavengers there. But because it would reset the whole run if I died to them, it's like way more tense than any other situation. Oops, didn't want to throw it backwards. Hello, Rock. Average hunter player. I always wanted to be friends with the scavengers. That's how I am too. If possible, I like to befriend them. But pretty much every downpour speedrun means that you don't befriend them. Except for like Gourmand and Saint, you are like passive to them. Or for Artificer, they want to kill you, obviously. For Rivulet, they want to kill you. For Spearmaster, they want to kill you. For Hunter, they kind of want to kill you. And even the characters that are neutral with the scavengers, they, like, it just takes one scavenger that kind of dislikes you a little bit to kill you. Or if you jump scare them at the wrong time. By the way, I don't play horror games, so I was kind of just making stuff up earlier. At least with Spearmaster, it's pretty easy to get Scav Rib. Just like give them a bunch of spears. Okay. I'm gonna do that. you. Really didn't want to make use of double jumps there. That was close. I only had a limited amounts to either deal with the vultures or to keep moving. Whoops. No, you don't. Okay. Alright. Oh, you know, I thought of playing this song intentionally, but nope. Playlist decided for me. Oh, that's all of them right there. Oh, nice one. Thank you. Nope. Okay. Can't do that. Red Lizard? Oh, here they are. A little bit late, behind schedule. I think the way that I'm holding the scavenger now, it's messing me up. They can mess with you. That's annoying though. You try to pick something up and jump at the same time. You do a parry, which uses up like a few double jumps worth of explosive power. I don't know what to call it. Explosive stamina. I don't know how many points though. Like a double jump is like 2 points, and a parry is like 5 points or something like that. Don't ever do that. Okay, I'm just... Yeah, bioengineering pretty much doesn't play if you're entering from outskirts. I don't know if there's some other condition that you have to meet for it to play, but I think you have to be entering the room from the other side, at least. So going from like left to right or left to up, it doesn't trigger, but going from either of those directions left, that does go. That might play this long. I think it still might be random, even then. Max farm a scavenger. Kind of like gambling. Like, you're probably just going to join the stream and see a bunch of garbage wastes, right? Vulture death compilation. Or maybe I'll make it to Metropolis. And if you're really lucky, I actually finish the run. I want to throw him down there. That was bad. Not really. Another scavenger. How cool. You're so terrified? Their Arma. It's a very frilly lizard. No vultures though. Percent of people were spinning around, very surprised. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Because the world is so massive and like interconnected. When you're playing casually, you just going from like outskirts to pebbles might take like an hour. Because there's like plenty of different ways that you can go and you don't know which way to go and you stop for food and to fight creatures and to stay in shelters, right? But in a speedrun, you just learn the one way to get there fastest and you just do that and you practice enough to get good at the movement. And it only takes like, what, like 10 minutes? And if you take the ideal route through a region, it only takes a few minutes per region. Did I don't know what I did. This is the kind of song that I really like to hear when I'm at the end of a run. Seeing a lot of scavengers recently. And obviously he has Artificer. That's my luck. I like how there's king vultures, red lizards, and red centipedes in this one area, within like 3 rooms of each other. Like slow motion right there. This is a lag spike. Falling with the sounds. Oh, really? I really wanted to get Wanderer. Well, then you really are a Wanderer if you don't know where the regions are. You just have to go everywhere. Garbage Waits song. Just ignore what Pebbles said and just kept wandering. Look up here. Accidentally pushed the other guy off. Yeah, got lucky there. I don't even think I tried to beat the game when I first played Rain World. Like, I already saw the ending, so I was like, why bother with that? I'm just gonna, like, go around and try to tame lizards or something. I spent a lot of time in Outskirts trying to tame one green lizard, which is also a really bad spot to tame lizards because they can't even climb up into that hole, or into the shelter. Ooh. Yeah, I'm still taking this. This guy gonna try to kill me. Luckily not. But they're red listers, so the answer is yes. Always yes. Thank you for that. Poor Artificer on the verge of exploding every second of that. If I did one explosive jump too many, then I was keeping track of it. I'd take this safe for once in these attempts. And I almost get hit anyway. Blue lizard. I guess that makes sense. Because Artificer can do multiple double jumps in a row in 0 gravity, like in 5 pebbles. So like, I guess the refraction cell kind of counts as that. I don't know what happened there. I might have grabbed onto the pole, so it slowed me down instantly. This is actually kind of slow. I don't know what happened this run. It just took a while to get the mask in the first place. I always like the idea of bringing so many neurons to Moon that she would like have just as many as Pebbles, and there would just be like a complete like solid cloud of neurons just above her. But then you never actually want to go through the effort of actually doing that. Hello, don't mind me. Just carrying your friend's body. I mean, they probably don't even know who the scavenger is. Like, this is a garbage-based scavenger. Those are from industrial. Do you think the scavengers move between regions often? Like, they do have karma, so they can use karma gates. Thanks for that. Well, I'm dead. Wow. Please. I'm just gonna sit here and scream at them. I kind of just rather like take the optimal route through that room, because if I have to slow down to avoid that King Vulture, then it's just gonna be a slower run later, right? I've only recently, well, yeah, I guess that's good, because I've only recently tried to start actually dodging King Vultures. I used to just run forward at full speed, and I usually died to it, so. But it would be faster if I did manage to make it through. No drop wing. I don't even know which path is faster. I just know that that path is more likely to die to a drop wing. He just stuck. Just fell into that hole to stick his head out. That one cyan just hanging out from the top of the screen. Okay, jumped too high there. Excuse me. I'm just gonna hope there's not scavengers. There's scavengers. My favorite. That was too slow. Looks like the physics changed. This is the pipe yard song. Where'd he go? Oh, right here. Time to die to red lizard. Oh, that was them right there. We just crossed each other in the pipe. I was right though. I'm holding them wrong. They actually slow you down if you're not holding the right part of their body. It's the kind of way they swing around. I've noticed that the movement is actually, like, movement that used to be consistent becomes different when I'm holding the scavenger differently. So that is actually very important. What do I do here? Should probably just wait. Oh, great. If I don't have enough jumps to make it through this room, just wait at the beginning and then do the 2 jumps. So that was really bad. Oh, it's a double jump again. Love giving snails a taste of their own medicine by murdering them. Or maybe you're playing Saint. Hey guys. Because they didn't like me. Would have been fine if I made it on the first jump. I think this song is really unique compared to most of the OST. Like that part at the beginning takes so long to like build up into this part. It's just also just a really long song in general. It's like 6 minutes or something. I'll take this. I'm not happy about it. Oh, look at you. Rare time where the red centipede loses. Yeah, that time I just messed up. That wasn't a physics problem. Half of chat is marine creatures. That's fun. Dropper right there, just hanging out exactly where I want to go. That dropback actually has not been really much of a problem recently. I remember I used to die to them a lot. They were, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting luckier now. They would sometimes be in a really bad spot. How high is my stamina? I feel like I haven't run out of jump. There we go. Okay. A king vulture that actually made things better. First time in Rainwolf history. It got rid of the red centipede. Actually, out of all the creatures in garbage waste, the red centipede is like the least problematic. Ooh, this is a short cycle. I might be able to barely make it. Rock, paper, scissors. I disagree. I think that red lizards, well, a little bit. But king vultures are definitely the weakest out of all those. If the red lizard gets in range of the king vulture, then they just instantly die. They just deal a lot of damage. And the red centipede has armor that protects them for a bit. I don't know how that king vulture got that centipede. But the centipede is also able to like one-shot all of the others. I think it's a one-shot. Centipedes instantly kill creatures smaller than themselves. Maybe king vultures are larger. And I don't know if that logic still applies to red centipedes. Excuse me. That's a scavenger. That was a mistake. I should have waited a little bit. That guy's literally frozen. Not a good run. A little bit worried about the scavengers in that room. Try to get out of there quickly. Of course, I ended up getting out of there slower than normal. Very curious noodlefly. Goodbye. This is bad. It's bad terrain. Not a good spot for it. Actually, no, there's about a little bit over 30 seconds left. I don't think that's enough time to make it past the last room in the wall that has rain. Why are you here? This is really bad. If I could hit through this in like 2 tries, then it's okay, maybe. Okay, I guess it's alright. What a spitter spider's doing though. Oh dear, the lag. Oh, the scavengers. Good luck, thank you. Elite scavenger. Come on. Just one elite scavenger end that run. It could have been a normal scavenger too, actually. Yeah, I might have picked up 2 masks at the same time, so I couldn't do anything. I couldn't see what was going on at all, though. Honestly surprised there wasn't also a king vulture in there. I think I've seen 2 normal vultures and 1 king vulture. Waiting for the time I see like 4 normal vultures and then 2 king vultures. I'm pretty sure there's like, hold up, I'm looking at the map. In garbage waste for Artificer. Oh no, time loss. Let me look at the spawns in this region. There are literally 4 vultures in the whole region. So all of them decided to visit me at the same time. But I don't think there's more than 1 king vulture in the region though. Unless you'd lineaged. I don't even know if they can be lineaged though. Zoop lizard. That'd be cool. Oh, here's some more. I don't even know what to do in that scenario. Multiple vultures. If I try to focus on one of them, then the others might steal the scav body. Or me. More than ready for Inv. It's not about if I'm capable of playing Riv, it's about acknowledging their existence in the first place. That's the problem. These guys are back. If you want to see a paying cat speedrun, there's already some good ones out there. Why are you going over there? Okay. It almost worked out. Wow. Hi. Welcome to Artificer Death Simulator. I'm actually probably going to end soon, depending on if I get a run going or not. Is this guy gonna visit? I think I've gotten a lot better at that once I've actually been trying to do it. But they immediately try to attack you afterwards, too. By the time that this song ends, if I'm not past garbage waste, then I'm gonna end stream. That was a nice little trick I just did. Very interesting scavenger coloring. That's wonderful news. Long as it's over. Where does this play? It's somewhere kind of in the lower right part of Moon's structure. Either submerged superstructure or just Moon as Spearmaster. This is not too loud. Oh, I got sucked into the bottom pipe. Oh. Careful there. It's like an electric guitar in the background. I just noticed that. I mean, that's just the distortion. Oops. Where does this play? Is it the same song? Bottom right of Moon structure. Actually kind of bad, because I usually do a second jump there. No, you can't. Okay, kind of a few mistakes here and there. Okay, this song. No, I can't hit this song. Well, the scavenger is gonna be left behind now. Very cool design though. Prepare your heart to be broken, by the way. There's still a very low chance of making it to the end, just to set your expectations. Thank you, camera, for transitioning early. I would have liked to see what I was doing down there, but I guess I don't need to. Please. Yeah. I mean, the moment I saw like an entire party of scavengers up there. Right when this song is ending. Alright. Well, there were some good attempts there. I will probably do this tomorrow. So if you enjoy Artificer, expect some more of it until I finish a run. I'm not even gonna. I haven't even made it once to the end of the run. The last 3 rooms of Metropolis are the hardest ones, and I haven't even made it there. Well, I think I made it there once. To the toll room. Alright, well, thanks everyone for watching. I'm glad that you still stick around, even though these aren't the most interesting streams. It's a lot of, not a lot of success. Alright, see ya.